Hey everyone! So I recently got a really interesting comment from someone who bought my arrangement of just the two of us. They asked something that I hear quite often. How do you actually approach learning a piece of music? How do you memorize it? And how do you not feel completely overwhelmed by it? And I just want to start by saying that if you feel overwhelmed when learning a piece, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. That feeling is very human and I still feel it sometimes too. So today I want to share 7 tips that can really help when learning and memorizing a new piece. The first thing I do, and this is really important, is I change the goal. My goal is not to play the piece perfectly. My goal is simply to get to know it. I approach a piece like I would approach a person I've just met. I don't expect to know everything immediately. I just start listening. Like literally, I will listen to the song over and over until it becomes alive in my mind. And then maybe I can already whistle it or sing it before I even touch the guitar. And this already lowers stress, and that matters a lot because memory works much better when we're relaxed. Most overwhelm comes from looking at the whole piece. Our brains actually don't memorize long streams very well. They memorize chunks. So I make things almost ridiculously small. Sometimes I'll work on just 2 beats. Or 1 chord change. Or even just the right hand pattern. And I allow that to be enough for that day. I often separate things into layers. So right hand only, left hand only, bass, melody, and only later I put everything together. I don't rush to assemble the whole piece. I let it come together slowly. Something that helps our memory a lot is not practicing a piece in a straight line from beginning to end. So I often start from the end of the piece, and I also like to jump to random places like the middle, a difficult transition, or maybe the last page. And this does 2 important things. The ending becomes the most secure part, and my brain learns how to enter the piece from anywhere. So instead of thinking, am I gonna make it through? The piece starts to feel more like a landscape that I know. And this kind of non-linear practice makes memory much more stable, especially under pressure when you're performing live, for example. People often ask me, how do you memorize a whole piece? And my honest answer is, I don't really sit down and say, now I will memorize this. But memorization actually happens as a side effect of understanding. So I ask myself things like, where is the melody going? What harmony is this based on? Like, what chords? What stays the same? What changes? And when you understand the story of the piece, your hands don't have to remember every detail on their own. So this is where a little bit of science comes in. Another really important thing is that we don't rely on just one kind of memory when we play. There are actually different memory systems working together. So there is motor memory, the muscle movements that become automatic with practice. There is oral memory, the ability to recall and mentally hear the sound or note that comes next. Visual memory, remembering the way the score looks or the chord shapes made by your hands, and analytical memory, understanding how the music works, the structure, harmony, form, and why certain parts lead to others, so you can find your way through the piece logically. The more of these memory systems you use at the same time, the more stable your memory becomes. That's why, for example, I like to sing the melody internally, understand the harmony, and know where I am on the guitar, instead of just repeating the movements. So that if one memory system slips, another one is there to step in. I spend a lot of time playing very slowly because it gives my brain time to really register what's happening. Slowing down allows things to settle, and not just in your hands, but in your memory. Memory also doesn't only form while you're practicing. A lot of it actually happens during rest and sleep. Very often the brain does its best work after you stop practicing. So sometimes the most productive thing you can do is to put the guitar down and just get some rest. And maybe the most important part of all is being kind to yourself while learning. Some days you'll feel connected to the music, and other days your fingers might just feel clumsy. And that doesn't mean you're going backwards, it just means you're human. So if a piece feels overwhelming, see if you can take that as information rather than judgment. Maybe it's asking for smaller steps or a different kind of attention. So go slowly and stay curious. And most importantly, try to enjoy the process of learning, not just the moment when it's finished. So thank you so much for watching this video. And if you feel like it, let me know in the comments below what piece you're currently working on. I would love to read about it. Bye.